I'm only asking them to grant justice. Now, all parties have been given fair hearing for all their cases. They have brought in their witnesses, and Tinubu actually claimed that he won the election and with over 8 million plus votes. And he came with only one witness that later even indicted him the more. So, INEC said...
Now, Bongoli, do you agree with this statement? Sorry, don't go. Or you want to finish first? Or you want...
Let me finish. Let me just finish.
Okay,
Let me finish.
Awesome. Bongoli,
So INEC...
Make him finish.
So INEC also were given the chance to present the documents of the election that they say they held, and present the documents, from the IREF portal, and they presented in court. It's in record that they presented blank sheets. They presented blank sheets. It's on record. I know it's sub judice, but we would hear the judgment tomorrow. So it's on record that they presented blank sheets to Nigerians. It's on public record that INEC presented blank sheets of, the elections. So what I'm saying in essence is this: I am not saying give Peter Obi the result or make him the winner of the election. I am saying there's a process that is being challenged by all stakeholders here, and they have been given fair hearing. Everybody has said what they had to say. They have brought in their witnesses, given their statements, given their submission, and everything has been said. Now it's time for judgment. Give judgment according to one thing: the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution, because we believe in rule of law in this country, to give the results according to the Constitution of Nigeria. It has nothing to do with Tinubu. It has nothing to do with Obi. It has nothing to do with Atiku. No, it has everything to do with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If the Constitution says that the 25% in Abuja is sacrosanct, it is sacrosanct. If the Constitution says that you cannot perjure, you cannot commit perjury, it is sacrosanct and it must be respected. If the Constitution says you cannot forge your certificates, it is sacrosanct. And this, if you remember the Midsummer issue, it's something that I think even that I watched him discuss it live,
yes,
on his show. Everybody should be treated equally. That is what makes you a citizen. I can't be bold enough to call myself a citizen if I am being treated differently from another person. That we are from the same country. Everybody should be treated equally, regardless of who you are. And I believe as a leader, you should be the first person that should be the most scrutinized. Everybody should know. People have the chance, or people can, question you and ask questions in whatever capacity, and that's what makes you a leader. So finally, in my submission, like I said, give the judgment, the right judgment, according to the rule of law and nothing more.
Thank you very much, my brother. And I've listened to everything that you have said. Daddy Freeze, I want you to do me a favor. Josie is here. He was somebody that we debated during the clash of the supporters. I would like Josie something. Josie, please tag yourself. Josie is a lawyer.
Okay.
I think he recites. He's a lawyer. Josie something. I think he's on this live.
Okay,
he's a lawyer.
Josie, send me a request. Let me
Josie
live.
Josie,
in the meantime, if you're watching
something
on TikTok, double click the screen, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, double click the screen on TikTok, pop those money guns, remember my number one gifter would be announced, and it is their candidate that has won that platform. So right now, Tinubu is leading on TikTok. You want to make a difference, you go there and make the change. Right now, the highest gifter on YouTube is my lovely sister Yemi Titilola. She spent $40. So, and she's a Tinubu supporter. So Tinubu is already ruling YouTube as well. What is happening on Facebook? Facebook, we've got Buki and Ebiri, but they've not mentioned who their candidates are. Remember, if you're on Instagram, go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Click on today's video, scroll down to the bottom left-hand corner, you will see how to buy my stars. And remember, whoever buys the most stars, that owns that particular platform, and you'll be given special privileges. So, go ahead. I'm waiting for Josie to send me a request, but in the meantime,
Josie Pisiki 29.
Bongoli, you wanted to ask a question. I'm not getting any question. You wanted to ask a question.
You know, initially, that's why I said I wanted to ask a question, but with what you have said, I don't even know what question to even ask you, Seth, because you kept on mentioning, hey, my Oga, well done, sir. Good to see you. Now it can be a little bit fair. Because of this, my brother, it can be a little bit fair. Because you kept on mentioning constitution. And I'm like, which of the constitution are you talking about? Is it Nigeria's constitution you're talking about? So what section of the constitution are you talking about? Please educate me.
Okay, now it has absolutely nothing. I'm not a legal practitioner. I am only telling you in detail what is sacrosanct. The constitution of Nigeria is what. Okay.
Respectfully, you came on Daddy Freeze's life and you said, okay, they have to go by the constitution, abide by the constitution. I never hear you mention Electoral Act. And then I said, what part of the constitution are you talking about? And then you say, is rule of law and all of that. No, tell me exactly. Because from the way you are even speaking, it even tells me that you may not even be privy to what your Messiah, Peter Obi, actually took to court, respectfully. Because a lot of people are not aware that Peter Obi did not say he won the election. He didn't go to court to say there was rigging. He didn't go there for that. He went there for 5 different cases and they were all based on technicalities. So we all need to understand that. And respectfully, if you come on air and start mentioning Nigeria's
election, why people they talk saying win?
What did you, sir?
I said Peter himself no talk saying win election. Why people can't talk?
Peter Obi did not say it got rigged though. Peter Obi did not say it got rigged though. Peter Obi did not say he won the election.
If Peter Obi himself did not say he won the election, why are people saying it on his behalf?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. That's the question I want to ask. Respectfully, I don't know.
I think you are wrong here, honestly.
Wow.
Yes, I think you are wrong here. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to refer you to, some videos that you should watch, like the first statement, the first video that he did, like the first press conference. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. The first press conference of Peter Obi immediately after the presidential election 2023 February. The first statement press conference of Peter Obi, he did mention here, and it's on quote, "We won the election and we will prove it." Go and look for the video and watch it.
But you see, what he said, he didn't say it in court. He said it to his followers.
Daddy, please, respect.
No. Wait,
my bros, please, I beg you, listen to me. Because you said I'm wrong, no problem. But I'm telling you, I'm asking you a question. Have you read what Peter Obi took to court as his petition? Have you read it?
I have.
Can you tell me what? Can you tell me what the petitions are against President Tinubu?
I said it in my submission, and I would repeat that I did. I talked about 25% in Abuja.
Okay.
Good. I talked about forgery.
What forgery?
Certificate forgery.
Okay, 2.
Which is perjury.
2. Continue.
I did talk about that.
Actually did.
2.
I talked about okay. I didn't talk about the double nomination of
3.
What's it called now? The current vice president.
3. Continue. 3.
These are like the ones I can actually remember for now.
Because I don't worry, my bros. I remind you of the remaining 2. The fourth one is the transmission of the INEC results.
Yeah. Okay.
There are actually 5. One is school matter. One is school matter. One is civil forfeiture, the $460,000.
Okay.
The other one is the IREV one.
Yes, the civil forfeiture and then the IREV.
And the other one,
is
the 25% one.
Yeah.
So now tell me, in all of this, not all of this, that he went to court and said, I won the election because I scored the highest number of votes.
Good. If you heard me very well when I was talking, I said that I am not telling the judges to give Peter Obi or make Peter Obi the winner of the election. That's not what I am. I said this severally. I know personally, well, I cannot prove it because obviously it's not the case. I'm not the one in court. No, I can say for a fact because I was in Nigeria. I participated in the just concluded election, presidential election. I was in Nigeria, and I can tell you for free that Peter Obi won the election. When you win the people. Let me finish. You can laugh, but the thing is,
you know why I'm laughing, my bro. You know why I'm laughing? Because Peter Obi, hold on respectfully, my bros. Peter Obi did not even score 25% in Akwa Ibom. You know Akwa Ibom shares border with the South. Because
and I just told you, and I just told you that the body, INEC, that is in charge of giving you that result that you are reading to me right now, went to court and gave blank sheets.
INEC gave blank sheets. Where did they give blank sheets? Don't be listening to my brother. Be listening to what they are telling you online. My lawyer, please talk. Lawyer is a Labour Party.
Election tribunal. It means you have not been following the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. INEC presented blank sheets.
I just reminded you of 3 cases. 3. I thought it was 5. You talked about only 2. I just reminded you of 3. I said I've not been following it. No problem. Please don't see as long as it
for you to say, I just told you something. You can confirm it. You can Google. Did INEC present blank sheets to the court?
Is a simple question. You are mixing it up, bro. You are mixing this thing up. It was Obi that brought blood sheet to court. It was
what not. See, okay, please, Bongoli. I don't want you to misinform Nigerians on Daddy Freeze's life. I don't want you to misinform Nigerians on Daddy Freeze's life because I'm telling you, I have been following the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal at least to an extent, and I can tell you that INEC, the results they announced to Nigeria at 4 a.m. The results they announced in Nigeria at 4 a.m. They were told to come and prove the results on IREV. Very simple. It's not. Yes, okay, Bola Ahmed Tinubu won. Fine, good, excellent. Prove it. Show us the receipt.
Hold on, my brother, and that's I'm saying that maybe let the lawyer speak because you don't understand how these things work. It is not for me to prove that I won
It
the
is
election.
not
It is you
rocket
that took me to
science.
court.
DJ
It is
DJ
you
Bongoli.
that took me to court, and
DJ
you that took
Bongoli.
INEC to court. So the onus is on you. No, I see.
DJ Bongoli.
Mr. Beer Brothers, I said in Akwa Ibom, Obi did not score 25%. I did not say Obi didn't.
According to
No, I'm
according to
talking, I'm
what
responding to
data?
someone else.
According
Answer.
to
You
what?
need to
According to what
understand.
data? According to what data? According to
So
what data?
If you are saying the
According to
data
what
is
data?
wrong, how did Obi now win to you, brother? If you are saying the data is wrong, which data
But
are you
I'm
now
telling
using
you
to
guys,
say Obi
I'm
won?
telling you guys here live right now that INEC have not been able to prove to Nigerians how Tinubu won the election in court. They were not
How?
If
able.
Tinubu did
What are
not
you
win the
talking
election,
about?
how did
How?
Obi win?
Can I say something,
Okay,
please?
let
Please
the
stop.
lawyer talk. Let's hear from the other. I want to be unbiased. I want to hear as much as I can. So let's hear from the lawyer.
Okay, first, I don't really want to go into the details of your argument, but I'll just say certain things. First, when it comes to once a public official, right, for instance, in this case, INEC makes an announcement about the result, it is deemed to be valid until it is proven otherwise. So
True.
the onus is on the parties contesting it. It is not for INEC to come and prove. I'm a Labour Party supporter, but I'll tell you the truth. The onus is not on INEC to come and prove. It is for the other parties who are disputing it. So if I bring, for instance, if I bring a driver's license and I say this driver's license was issued to me by the authority, and somebody wants to question it, whoever is questioning it will have to prove that the authority did not do the right thing and stuff like that. But for me, I don't think we should be going to those, because if we want to start going to those debates on what happened and what did not happen, we'll still going back to the argument I was having with Bongoli and the others in the past. I think going forward is what happens after tomorrow, what to expect. What to expect is that decision can go anyway.
Anyway,
And
100%.
anyway, the decision can go anyway. I'm talking objectively now, so I'm a bit under the weather. The decisions can go anyway, and that is why to be honest with you, I wasn't really too comfortable with that hashtag of eyes on the judiciary, because it looks like we are pressurizing them. They're supposed to do their work in making decisions.
I beg to disagree.
Let me finish first. You see,
My
I didn't
brother,
talk all this while.
listen to a practitioner, respectfully. Listen to a practitioner. His Labour Party is on your side, though. He's on your side, though.
He didn't know I campaign for Peter Obi. I'm still a Peter Obi supporter. I'm just being objective. I'm telling you what happens, right? Why I'm saying this is this. First and foremost, because decision is not based on what you think subjectively. You get my point. So if you voted in a particular place, this one I'm making a general statement. I'm not talking about any party now. If you voted in a particular place and you see people supporting your candidate in that particular place, it may not necessarily reflect across board. That is one thing. So sometimes some people will tell you that I'm sure Tinubu will win. Why did you say Tinubu? Because in my polling unit, everybody was shouting Tinubu, Tinubu, Tinubu. I was sure Atiku won the election rather. Why? Because in my polling, but the election is not decided by your polling unit. It's decided on the general aggregate of votes and stuff like that. I believe there was no compliance, but I don't want to go into all of that because, like I said before, we've had this argument over and over again. However, going forward, whatever the decision of the court is, if you are not happy, please, there's no point causing confusion. There's still a Supreme Court to go to, right? In deciding cases, the court looks as evidence. So, as when I practice seriously as a litigation lawyer in Nigeria. So some people will tell you, "Oh, let me just give you a simple example. This one we caught the guy red-handed. How did the court let him go? We caught him red-handed. He did it. The court does not work that way. The court works by evidence. Do you get my point? Somebody. There was a particular case. Let me not go into details that involved Now, if you, for instance, if you're doing a criminal case, there's what we call ingredients of the offense. So the fact that you're not able to prove one important ingredient of the offense can make the case to be knocked out. You get my point? So now, when it comes to in civil cases, civil cases are decided by what we call preponderance of evidence. It's unlike criminal cases. Criminal cases are decided based on proof beyond reasonable doubt. But in civil cases, so what it means is that if you see the justice sign, it has a scale. So you'll put your evidence here and put on the other, whichever way it tilts to. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Whichever way it tilts to tells you, then it decides who gets the judgment.
I remember to tell them that the justice is blindfolded to your emotions.
Yes, it should be, but in reality, sometimes I don't want to talk about the judiciary, but let's just for me, I just want to talk about things objectively, not yeah. Okay. You want to say something, yeah?
Yes. I wanted to strongly disagree with you on something you said. You know, I rebuke it with every part of my heart, because I feel like Nigeria has been used, or how will I put it now, is used to impunity. We are used to impunity. We are used to we not being citizens or seen as citizens. The word "all eyes on the judiciary" is a very important statement, because the judiciary, which is a part of the arms of government in Nigeria, an arm of the government in Nigeria, have messed up not one, not two occasions in this country. The judiciary have messed up on several occasions in this country.
Can you give me an example? Respectfully, an example.
Have to be on the judiciary.
Okay,
all eyes must be on the judiciary.
Can you give me an example?
Let me just finish.
Okay, I need an example, sir. I need an example.
Secondly,
I need an example. Please, sir.
Sorry. Let me get this thought. I'm going to respond to you, Bongoli, but let me finish with the lawyer, because he spoke like a normal Nigerian lawyer of today, and the way they always look at issues. Yes, no. Trust me, he spoke like a normal Nigerian lawyer would speak today about issues. You know, it sounds all good and nice the way he puts it out there, and you would think that is how it happens in the Nigerian courts. You would even think that is how it happens in the Nigerian government. But do you know?
Let me ask a question.
Let me just finish. When you were making your submission, I was waiting for you to hit the nail on the head. What we are talking about here.
You interrupted me midway and allowed you to talk.
Yes, what we're talking about here is not the process of how the courts sees things and all. No. What I was talking about was the case on hand that has been sub judice for a while, and right now we're waiting for the judgment tomorrow. Now, this case that we have right now, there is a case of forgery, there's a drug case. There are different cases that have actually been put up. We are looking at the case at hand. What is the judgment for these cases? And DJ Bongoli, you were asking for an example of how the judiciary have messed up in this country. Someone that came forth in Imo State gubernatorial election was declared the winner.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Respect. Until today,
Let me address it.
And today, it is still one of the most controversial issues, judicial issues we have in this country. It is just one of the
wait, 1 minute.
Josie, I beg you. Let me.
No, because he addressed me first. So let me just.
Will you? I want to address the Imo State case that I just mentioned.
No,
I know he fell into my trap. He fell into my trap.
Leave him on the issue now.
No.
Wait, hold on. I will come to that. First of all, let's understand something. I'm not fighting you, neither am I fighting anybody here. You get my point in terms of saying that talk like a typical. Well, you are entitled to your opinion, so I respect it. But what I'm trying to say is this. I said, well, this is where I started from. I said we've gone past all these arguments. You don't know. I don't know how many times you've come on live when we debated these issues. We debated the evidence before the court. We've debated all of this. I said we should move past that. We are at the stage of where they are going to give judgment tomorrow. And I'm trying to explain to you how it works, how the court makes decision. I'm not even going to go back into what the substance of the case is. Let's wait and hear what the court says tomorrow. And I did not say that you do not have a right to say all eyes on the judiciary. I said I am not comfortable with it. I'm not saying
you are not comfortable with it. That it sounds like an intimidation.
That
was what you said, and I found it offensive because you can't tell Nigerians that are citizens that they cannot speak out. And again, come on, these guys are there. You know these guys. These guys are there. These guys are there to serve the Nigerian people, please. And they owe us accountability. So all eyes must be on them.
Okay, let me say this. Listen, what I said is this. Now, this is me being dispassionate. I'm removing myself from the picture and being objective. Okay. So if you say all eyes on the judiciary, what is justice to you? So justice to you means it must be what I asked for.
No.
If it does not go, listen, that is what I'm defining what justice means to you now. I'm talking to you particularly.
What I said, ask them in the beginning before you join.
Wait. That is meaning of that. Hold on, let me finish.
Calm down, sorry. Let me make this, because you accused me of something I did not do. Before you joined, I said something. I said, see, I am not asking you to give Peter Obi the whatever. No, I am only asking you as judges that you should follow the rule of law and give judgment according to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Simple. That is what I have been saying since. I am not saying you must give judgment to Peter. I never said that.
Josie, I asked him a simple question as regards, and he said per the Constitution, and I asked him, what parts of the Constitution are you talking about? See, hold on. For that 25% you are talking about, whatever, that is section 133 and 134. Today is the learning day for all of us. Section 133 and section 134. That's where the 25% came from. From the INEC, whatever it is, that is in section 60 of the Electoral Act of 2020. Is it 2020 or 2022? I think 2022. So I am telling you where all of these things are emanating from. The double nomination is also coming from the Electoral Act. Then the what's it called? Then the forfeiture and all of that stuff is coming from section 137. So that's why when you are talking about Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I'm like, which constitution are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because you are talking about these things and I'm asking you what part of the Constitution, and you've not been able to answer me. Now, secondly, I would like to tell you about this Imo case that you talked about. That's why it's very important that we all should always read judgments. In the case of Ihedioha and Uzodinma came first position because some polling units were cancelled. And Uzodinma was able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that those results that were cancelled in those polling units were actually valid. He was able to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And Ihedioha of the PDP could not prove otherwise. And when they summed it up, it was about 30-something polling units. And when they summed it up, he scored higher numbers. Because what he did was to ensure that, because your, what do they call them? Your agent and the police, they always have that form, that INEC form. So your agents will have a copy and police will have their copy. So what Uzodinma did was he brought his own copy and aligned with the police copy. And that was what he took as evidence. That is what Josie is explaining to you, evidence. What people say on TV, what people type on social media is totally different when you enter the court of law. That is why in his petition, an article's petition, are you not even asking yourself, why is it that article is going to US to go and look for a school certificate or something like that? Because if you want to prove that somebody brought a fake certificate, you have to provide the original certificate. That is how you do these things in court.
Bongoli, I really don't want us to go into the merit of
no, because a lot of people
again, what he said about
Josie, I respect you. Yeah. Please, the reason why is because he came on air and said Bongoli, stop misinforming people. And the question is, who is actually misinforming who? Because all of these things that you have said, you are speaking from an emotional standpoint, my brother. This is not what you take into the court of law.
I'm speaking with emotions.
Josie,
no.
Let me say this. A lot of times when we hear things, people say things, until you read the judgment of a court, understand what we call the ratio decidendi, which is the reasons behind their decision, you really cannot understand. Sometimes people come to media and speculate about things without even looking at the judgment of the court, because this judgment is based, I'm not telling you that there's no corruption in the judiciary. 100% there's corruption in the judiciary in Nigeria. Nobody's saying there's none.
No,
right?
But to Bongoli, the Nigerian judiciary is 100%. To Bongoli is 100%.
No, I never heard him say that. So
I never heard him say that. Thank you very much.
I never heard him say that. I'm trying to be
for him to tell me to give him an example of how the Nigerian judiciary is corrupt, it means that he's telling me that they are not corrupt.
No, necessarily. An example, and I countered your example. I didn't
want to give a rebuttal to that, because that is just a messed up submission. I just didn't want to give a rebuttal to that.
And it's okay to admit that you don't know.
The truth is,
see, let me say something.
What else?
Josie, let me say this.
If everybody's talking, nobody's talking. So I would say one person should talk at a time. That's why I don't want to.
You talk. Let me just say this last thing. The problem here is you don't know, and you don't know that you don't know. Then when you meet people that know, you be like, you don't know, because you think they don't know, but at the end of the day, you don't still know. And that's why he gave an example that he could not back up with evidence, thinking that you are just talking to people that don't know what they are saying. And I just proved to you with that Imo case, for example, what you don't know. So Josie, please go ahead.
So
thank you.
Point is this. We should be careful.
We close in 10 minutes.
We should be careful.
In 10 minutes, guys. We close in 10 minutes. Sorry, guys. Let me just make a big announcement.
Okay,
big shout out to CJ. That if you please, respectively, you can be biased at times. Peter Obi did say he won. Watch the first appearance on Arise TV. He did not say he won in court. Arise TV is not the court, my dear brother CJ. I can say something on Arise TV and say something totally different in court. Guys, lawyer and Bongoli, did Peter Obi at any point say he won in court?
Yeah, at the end of the day, what he was saying, if you cumulatively, if you put everything together, he's saying disqualify this man for certain reasons. He queried the process. So if you do this, I won the election. That's the meaning. That's the eventual conclusion. Because you can wait. Hold on. They also faulted the declaration of INEC, the process, and so many other things. So, but again, like I said, we should move past it, because this debate, if this debate continues, what is going to happen? If the decision sways one way or the other, you're going to see a lot of things may go wrong. That's why I'm not even going into all of this stuff, because we've debated this for months. Tomorrow, not even tomorrow, today, in a few hours' time, the judgment will be out. But I'm preparing everybody's mind. Either way the case goes, there's still a Supreme Court to go to. Nobody should go and start
which is the first thing I said when I came live today.
That is what I am all about. Not even any of. I'm not talking about the merit of the case. Whether we discuss it from today to tomorrow is not going to make any difference. The court has made their decision, right? So we should wait. Yes.
I was supposed to talk.
I asked the question before. It was just me, you, and Daddy Freeze, and nobody answered. Yeah. And the question is in line with what he is saying.
Yeah.
Can there be peace without justice? Now, I'm going to give my reasons why I asked this question. I'm going to follow what you just said. Now, you are saying that whatever the outcome is, remember that the outcome means that one party is going to win, definitely.
Yes.
One other party would lose, obviously. Thank you. Now, the other party definitely depends on how they want to take it. Obviously, we'll always preach peace and say no violence. Let's try as much as possible to remain calm. It's just one country we have. Whether we like it or not, it is still one country that we have. Good and fine. But look at other African countries. With the rate of coup going around everywhere, I am not saying, this is not me instilling any violence or anything. No, I'm just telling you to take your time to look at how other African countries are just dividing and having this coup issue. What causes this coup? Have you asked yourself? Have you asked yourself like a deep question? What do you think is causing this coup around the African countries right now? Do you think Nigeria now, all this our well-meaning talk, let's do this, let there be peace? Just like I asked the question, is it possible that there can be peace without justice? That's my question.
Okay, let me answer your question. If there can be peace without justice, there can't be peace without justice. But what does justice mean to you? So what justice means to you, for those who are Peter Obi supporters, Peter Obi should win in court. 100%. What justice means to hold on. What justice means? Sorry, hold on. Calm down now, because I'm asking, because you're saying. So how do you now gauge whether the judgment of the court tomorrow is?
Daddy Freeze, I love what's going on, Daddy Freeze. Why? These are two Peter Obi supporters. You are seeing two types of Peter Obi supporters. And this one we talk about.
I'm giving general.
I love you.
So what justice means now is that if you ask the core Tinubu supporter, the core Tinubu supporter believes Tinubu won, and for him, justice is for Tinubu to be declared the winner. If you ask the core Atiku supporter, the core Atiku supporter believes that Atiku won. So justice for that person means Atiku should be declared the winner, just the same way a Peter Obi supporter like me would feel. However, you cannot determine whether or not the court,
sorry, bros. I beg to differ from. I am not that Peter Obi supporter that would say that the court of appeal should give Peter Obi this thing, or let Peter Obi must win. That is not. Please stop. That's not the message I'm preaching. I am saying.
You're not saying it you're not saying it expressly, but impliedly. Anybody who's listening to you, because you keep using that word. Listen, we are not babies here. Everybody who is listening to you. Listen. Let me say this. I'm a Peter Obi supporter, committed one. I put my time and my money, not just my time. I put both my time and my money. But I'm just saying. Listen to me. When you say can there be peace without justice, I did mention something that, listen to me, either way the decision goes, there's the Supreme Court to go to. We should also look at the decision, and then that's when you now brought in this justice thing. So I'm asking to you, what does justice mean to you? Because for a core supporter, it is. So if Peter Obi is declared, for instance, the winner, which is what I'm praying for, I'm praying that he should disqualify Tinubu and he should win. we go to the Supreme Court. No, I'm just being honest with you. That's what I'm praying, right? But this will not always go my way. Just the way Bongoli is praying and believing that his party will win, and probably
I'm
another
not praying.
person.
Respectfully, I'm not praying.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
not praying.
I am
Okay,
not
that's
saying
fine.
that
I'm just saying. I'm
things
just
will
for
go
analogy's
my
sake. What is
way. Bro. See,
See, let me explain
if
something
you
to you.
thought,
My brother, you've
or
been
if you
talking.
think that is what
I've not spoken
I'm
yet.
saying, please, sir, rethink it.
Okay.
I am not that Peter Obi supporter. I am not saying.
We close in exactly 3 minutes.
Yes,
Everybody
and this
has
is
1
me
minute
just
each.
saying.
We close in 3 minutes. Everybody has 1 minute each. We don't go round and round in circles. So everybody
All right.
have your 1 minute. I know Bongoli is tired. I've never seen him this tired before. All right. So Bongoli, do you want to go first with your 1 minute?
Yeah, all I want to say is that we should be careful what we ask for. Because already in Peter Obi's petition, there is a serious error. Peter Obi did not go at article. Because tomorrow, if it goes south and they say, okay, 1 out of the 5 or 2 out of the 5 disqualifies the president in quotes, Peter Obi did not have any case against Atiku. Atiku will be the one that will enter. Wait, because Peter Obi is saying that they should disqualify the president and then have a rerun. That is what he wants. Disqualify the president.
That's not the only prayer. That's not the only prayer he makes.
No, if disqualify the president, then cancel the entire election or have a rerun. However, if the president is disqualified in quotes, he didn't have anything against Atiku. Atiku came second. So that is why I don't know how they filed their case. I don't know. If you look at it, the last noise rancor that happened is because of Atiku. It's not because of Obi. If you look at the PDP, for example, the PDP know what they are doing. They are trying to push forward something credible as compared to the Labour Party's petition. They are not making noise. Atiku went to the US courts to do 1 or 2 things. Who elevated it is the Obi people. Guys, tomorrow we come and go. Anyway the thing soon, let us take it like that. Let us stop blackmailing people and blackmailing the judiciary. Is this same judiciary that gave Obi his mandate in 2006? I will even say then, our judiciary was even weaker as compared to now as an institution, because it was during the time of Baba OBJ that had little to no regard for the rule of law in Nigeria.
All right, your 1 minute is off.
Thank you.
Over to you, my friend, and the lawyer has the final say, because this is a legal matter, and I'd like a lawyer to have the closing remarks. If you're watching on TikTok, double-click the screen.
My
submission.
All right, my submission will be very, very short. First thing I will say is this: number one, all eyes must be on the Nigerian judiciary. Our system must work. Our system is not built for a selected few. Our system is built for more than 200 million Nigerians. All eyes must be on the judiciary. That's number one. Secondly, I am not saying, and I'll repeat this, I am not saying that you should give Peter Obi the election or the president or no. I am saying follow the rule of law as a judge. Think of your kids, think of your conscience, think of posterity tomorrow, and follow the rule of law. You have not done well in the past. Follow the rule of law. You have not done well in the past. There are several cases that we can start talking about today that have made you not done well in the past. Follow the rule of law. And finally, my very big Oga lawyer, like I said to you, regardless, you might be you can be an Obi supporter, and I can also be an Obi supporter, and we can see things. We're not zombies, obviously. We can see things differently and agree to disagree. And I am not seeing anything from an emotional point of view. I am only trying to be as reasonable and logical as possible, because when the elections ended, Obi was told, go to court. Obi went to court, and now we're waiting for the judgment. So I'm not the kind of Obi supporter that will carry on my head and say, give him the mandate or whatever. My own is, do the right thing. You have heard all their prayers. Did Tinubu perjure? He did commit certificate forgery. Is 25% in Abuja sacrosanct? These are the only things I want to be hearing. If Bongoli comes here and start telling me Tinubu certificate, he has the original copy of his primary school certificate and secondary school, I'll be even happy, self. I'll know that I'm wrong. That means all the things that will be said in courts is a lie. If Bongoli comes here and tells me almost Tinubu certificate here, I go happy. He does not have it. Because Tinubu does not have it.
That's an INEC requirement. Go and read your INEC requirements.
Finally,
you must only have
lawyer. Let's find out. Thank you, my brother. I like him. He's very polite. I must say something. Mani Dubem is very polite. Most of the Obedients that I've met in my life are not polite. I enjoy this conversation. I agreed with him in some parts. I disagreed in some parts. But one thing I must agree is he's the most polite person here today. He's extremely polite. And he's bringing a contrary opinion in a very polite manner. Obedience, learn from one of your own. Lawyer, I hand over to you. Close the case.
Okay, so Bongoli, it's not true that you needed to add Atiku, because Atiku was not declared a winner. So he's challenging Tinubu. You may ask me, oh, what about that? Don't forget that there's the argument of the 25% in Abuja is not linked to only Tinubu. It's linked to the interpretation of that section of the Constitution. So if the court so grants in favor of Obi that he as a candidate must win 25% in Abuja, it also affects Atiku. Also, I think if my memory serves me right, we presented a lot of results that showed irregularities in some of the results were altered in so many states and stuff like that. So, well, again, I don't want to push any agenda for now. Let's wait till tomorrow when the judgment comes out. When the judgment comes out, I'll get a copy of the judgment. We'll all get copies of the judgment and read the judgment and see the reasons behind the decision of the court, right? And then we can take things from there. I'm just saying we should not escalate things because if we make people believe that this is the way the judiciary must go, when that does not happen, it's a call for anarchy. That is why if you observe me today, Bongoli, I didn't argue with you and stuff like that. I'm just saying, because I know human beings are like this. What would trigger a crisis is not something much. Just the wrong message, right, can trigger a serious crisis. So I'm saying, listen to me. Everybody calm down. Let's wait and see the judgment of the court. Get a copy of the judgment and read it. If you don't understand it, ask a lawyer to interpret it for you. And also, it is not the last arbiter when it comes to this election petition tribunal as regards the presidential election is the Supreme Court. So either way it goes, it's still not even the end of the it's not the end of the road, because there's still Supreme Court to go to. So let's all calm down. Let your expectations, pray and hope that just the way I'm praying and hoping that the decision goes my way. But if it doesn't go your way, please calm down.
Remember, there can't be peace without justice. When you tell people calm down, try to remember that there can't be peace without justice. It's not possible anywhere. Remember,
thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
God bless you, Daddy Freeze. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Daddy Freeze. I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
The winner on YouTube is
Tinubu.
TikTok is Tinubu. But guess what, guys? I'm going to say this to everybody. Whatever the result is tomorrow, is what I started with. There's still Supreme Court. Let's be peaceful. We have only one country. I must expressly say I enjoyed today. Josie, thank you so much. It was refreshing having a legal perspective on this. Bongoli, thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge. We always learn from you. And my brother Manny, thank you also for your perspective and for being very polite about your perspective. I learned today that you can actually have a counter agreement and be very polite about it. Thank you guys so much. It was a wonderful day. If everything else can continue this way, Nigeria would be fine. We love you all.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.